So it's a cold, windy Friday morning here in Davis, and I am on my way to the UC Davis silo to take a little bit of an adventure. I'm planning on going for a bike ride on the Dorado Trail in Placerville. And so, first step of my adventure, to hop on the Route 138. And instead of the battery bus it normally has, it's actually a normal SAC RT bus, which is kind of cool. Normally the UC Davis Med Center shuttle is run by a battery bus, a Proterra bus, but sometimes when the battery bus is in the shop, they switch it out with either YOLO bus or SAC RT buses, and today I'm on a SAC RT bus, which is kind of rare, kind of cool. So now I'm off at TN 34th Street, and now it's time for a quick ride to the 29th Street Light Rail Station. So I've now made it to Iron Point Light Rail Station, and this is where I will switch to the Dorado Transit Route 50X. This is going to be an hour and 40 minutes, and then it'll drop me off in Placerville. So I got off slightly early here at the Missouri Flat Transit Center, or Transfer Center, they make that distinction in Placerville. I'm in Placerville. It's about 30 minutes early from where I was going to get off, but this is because I found out that the bike trail I want to ride actually extends down south, or west, to where I am now, so I'll be able to ride a little bit on that trail. Bus ride was long, boring. It's scheduled for an hour and 40 minutes from Iron Point Light Rail Station to the Placerville Transit Center. That's a 26-minute drive. So it takes an hour and 40 minutes to go 26 minutes by car. It's not really surprising to see why people just drive, especially when the transit is so inconsistent, and it's like you're living by the transit schedule, which really isn't what a transit system should be going for, but here we are. One of the reasons that the run takes so long is deviations, obviously. So we deviated to serve the college, park and ride, and a casino. So those added time because you have to get off the highway, loop around the stop, and get back on. And also situations like this. We arrived on time into the Missouri Flat Transit Center, Transfer Center, but we're not scheduled to leave until 1 o'clock. So there's a 10-minute gap between when the bus gets in and when the bus is scheduled to leave, which adds obviously another 10 minutes. That's pretty annoying. So about 2 blocks up the road from the Missouri Flat Transfer Center is what I came here to see today, Dorado Bike Trail, or trail. It's a trail built on former railroad right-of-ways, and as you can see, there's still former pieces of track. What I'm on right now is a section between South Placerville and downtown Placerville. So yeah, join me as I go for a little bike ride along an abandoned railway. So at many points along the trail, there's still former evidence of what used to be here. This right here is an old loading dock that trains would have used to load their freight when this was still a railway. There's also several pieces of exercise equipment that I am totally misusing right now. So after sitting on the bus and now biking along a former rail trail, I was just thinking about how nice it would be if El Dorado County still had rail service. Like if Amtrak was able to run a Capital Corridor-like service to Placerville to Tahoe, that would be really nice, instead of sitting on the bus for almost 2 hours. But El Dorado County is full of Republicans, so here we are. More railroad history. What I'm standing on now is the Weber Creek Trestle. Obviously it's been redone for bikers and pedestrians, but when you look at the structures, you can still tell very clearly that it was a former rail trestle. So the last train ran to Placerville along this branch in 1987, according to some Googling I just did 5 seconds ago. And on a rock, you can still see a stamp of the railroad that used to run here. I don't know what it stands for because, well, I am illiterate and haven't Googled that far yet. So me and editing, save me please. That's the bus I was on, heading back towards Iron Point. That's funny. So here's a little sign talking about where I am and what I'm biking on. So right now, I'm up here. I started over here, and my goal is to go over there. This'll be fun. So the El Dorado Trail sends me down Main Street in downtown Placerville, and it certainly reminds me of Auburn. That quirky, historic vibe, lots of cars, which is unfortunate. Yeah. Onwards. So very helpfully, the El Dorado Trail has a midpoint, sort of, at the Placerville Transit Center. And the El Dorado Trail continues northwards towards Camino Heights that way. And I do want to bike that section, but it basically goes up and doesn't stop going up for 1,100 feet. And, well, 1,100 feet in 6 miles sounds painful, and psychotic as I may be, that is not in my best interests. But instead what I'll be doing is hopping on the Route 60 bus towards Camino Heights, and then I'll be able to bike downhill for a much easier ride back to here, the Placerville Transit Center, and then I'll be able to make my way home from there. 10 minutes later and I'm really in the middle of nowhere now. Yeah, this is the Camino Heights park and ride. It's very tight. I'm impressed that the dude drove a bus here. And here is where I will pick up the El Dorado Trail again, once I find which street I have to take to get to it. But yeah, should be a nice fun downhill ride. And one very downhill ride later, I'm back at the trail. Biking down the trail and I see this funny rock. Huh. Looks like a shark. And it also says, "Kiss me, Blarney Stone." Yeah, I think I'm gonna pass on that. Man, I'm really up in the hills now. So whenever I'm in the forest, I always like to ask the people that I'm with one question. Have you ever touched the top of a redwood tree? Oh, my hair. 'Cause I just did. So coming back into Placerville, there's the old railroad tunnel. And I get to bike through that. Cool. I am now in the old railroad tunnel. It's short. 20 minutes later, and I'm back at the transit center. Yeah, good ride downtown, my poor brakes. Now I have quite a while before my bus, so we'll see what I choose to do with my time here. I might hop back on the Route 60 and just take that all the way to the end of Pollock Pines and back, because that'll fill up an hour pretty decently, so yeah, stay tuned for more. Made it to Pollock Pines and there's snow. So this is rather momentous for me because, well, this is the first time in 3 years that I've actually seen snow, so cool. Time to go back to Placerville. So right here, that's the bus I took to get here. Then here is some snow. I am inordinately happy about this. Short detour on the 60 is over. It's time to catch the 50. That'll take me back to Iron Point so I can get back to Davis. So now I'm on the 50X after seeing some snow. Happy that I got to see the snow. Originally I had planned to take 2 trips, one to take the Dorado trail and one to go see snow, but now I killed 2 birds with 1 stone. And yeah, got to see snow for the first time in 3 years. Yeah, now I am on the 50X, just waiting to leave Placerville. And then it's to the Gold Line, to the 138, and then I'll be home. So something interesting I noticed in the schedule for the 50X is that going up the hill, it take an hour and 48 minutes, or no, an hour and 40 minutes, whereas going down the hill, it only takes an hour and 15. Thought that was kind of funny. I guess it's gravity taking a half hour off. Oh, we're deviating to serve a casino. Oh my god. After a very pretty sunset bus ride, I am back at the Iron Point light rail station, just waiting for my Gold Line that's going to take me to the Med Center. Yeah, that was a rather chill ride from Placerville. Very pretty. One thing I forgot to mention was I used my Connect card, and on Dorado Transit, they don't do transfers, but the nice thing is I won't have to pay more than $4.50, so when I tagged, that's a train coming. When I tapped 3 times, that's when my card maxed out, so every ride after that was free. So I thought that was pretty cool. I have made it to the 39th Street Light Rail Station, so now it's time for a quick bike ride over to the UC Davis Medical Center. I will then hop on the 138, which is my final bus home. Update. I am now at the Med Center bus stop, 30 minutes early and bored. So in another rather strange turn of events, my bus back to Davis is another SAC-RT Gillig bus instead of the battery bus I was expecting. I'm a little sad because this means my phone is going to die because these don't have chargers and the battery buses do, but it is what it is. Anyway, now I'm back in Davis, so yeah. Thanks for joining me on my adventure today. I had a good time, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.